Hey guys, what's up? How are you all doing? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Soban. I'm a fourth year physiotherapy student in Hungary, and I'm also a Stipendium Hungaricum Scholar, which means that I'm studying entirely free on Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship. As I promised in my recent video that I'm going to be making some Q&A questions, answering your questions basically. So here we are. In this video, I'm going to be answering all of your questions. It's going to be a little bit long video, I'm anticipating, but trust me, it's going to worth the time. So before starting the video, I have two announcements to make. One is I have made a Telegram channel, and I'm gonna be answering some of your questions which I cannot answer on this platform. So make sure you join that channel. So if 100 people join that channel, I'm gonna be doing a live session talking about how to structurize your motivation letter, what to add, what not to add. And you can also ask the questions in that live session. So this is one thing. And secondly, if this video gets 100 likes, I'm gonna be making a vlog in which I will be going to a university and showing kind of, faculties of the university. It's kind of a university tour that I'll be doing. That's the plan, but let me know which university should I visit. Is it Szeged, Semmelweis, Corvinus, Debrecen, some other, university? So we can go to every place. So let me know in the comments which university you would like me to visit, and I can make it happen and show you some of the universities. Okay, so enough waffling, enough yapping. Now it's time to start the video. Okay, so the first question we have is it available for Indians? Yes, it is available for Indian students, and also it is available for more than 80 countries around the world. So if you see my previous video, I have explained everything in that, and also in that video you can check in the description, you would find a link where you can check whether your country is eligible for it or not. It's funny that many people, some of the countries, they don't know about whether they can get this fully from their scholarship or not. I have a friend, she's from Costa Rica. She's like the first Costa Rican student that came here on scholarship, and the students in their country, they didn't know about this scholarship. So this is one of the example. Probably if you're watching from a country and you don't know, just see that whether your country is eligible for it or not, and see my previous video about the process, like what's the process of applying and everything. So just start applying. The deadline is January 15th, so make sure to speed up everything fast, to do everything fast, and probably you would be here next year. Okay, moving on to the next question. Last year, TPF rejected my friend due to quota rejection. Please tell me, what is the quota rejection? How can we know the number of seats in a specific program in a specific university? So I've been getting this question a lot recently. It's basically because it actually started, I think, 2 years ago, and because of the huge number of applicants, they started rejecting on quota system. So I would explain what is quota system. So after you have applied for the scholarship, you get nominated, you get accepted in that program from the university, and at the end, when TPF is about to give you the final decision, they mention this, like your scholarship has been rejected because of the quota system. It basically happens in those universities or those programs which are more competitive. For example, they have to accept 10 scholarship students for medicine program, and let's say 50 scholarship students apply to the same program. After the university interview, they all get accepted in the university, and then it basically depends upon the committee of the program that they have to choose those 10 students from those 50 students, 50 accepted students. That's basically where the quota rejection comes from. Then basically what they say with the rejection email, that if you would like to continue in this university without the scholarship, you can do it. So basically you are admitted to the university, but you will just not get the scholarship because some other 10 people, they were better in the exam or they were better in the university, and those top 10 students actually got the scholarship. This is basically quota rejection thing. Again, what I would suggest is just to check the university requirements, which program you're applying to, and it basically depends upon your luck and how you do in your interview and exam. Of course. The second part of this question is, how can you check the number of seats available? I don't think any university, they show this data on their, online websites or something. Probably you can check. I know Semmelweis doesn't give this information on the website, but if you come to the Telegram channel, probably I can let you know about this information. Okay, so the next question is, which university should I mention in my motivation letter of motivation? Both of them, first preference, or I will have the option to upload it separately. You don't have the option to upload it separately, unfortunately. There is only one section where you actually have to write your motivation. Again, if you check my previous video about how to write a motivation letter, I have explained, like, there is a whole 2-minute section where I explain why you should only write your first preference in your motivation letter. So the main goal of the motivation letter is to check your motivation for a specific profession that you would like to pursue for your whole life. Now, in half of the motivation letter, if you write about, let's say you want to become a doctor, and half of the motivation letter you would write, I want to become an engineer, then it basically shows that you kind of don't have a plan and you don't have a motivation to do either of the program. So that's why it doesn't make any sense to write both of the motivations in the same motivation letter. Now, some will argue that if you don't write anything in the motivation section of the second program, then they would just straight away reject you. So your second preference university, they know that you have chosen them as second preference. Now, if they're so strict about the motivation of the students, first of all, they would prefer those students who chose them as their first preference. So this is one thing, they would straight away reject you because you have chosen them as second preference. But it usually doesn't happen like this. They usually check your motivation in the interviews. So they will not do if the first preference rejects you, then they would do the interview. So these two interviews happens simultaneously, in the same week basically. So they know that you are the second preference, and then they basically check your motivation in the interview rather than reading it on your profile. So they know this, and it usually happens like this, that they check your motivation in that way. Most of the universities, unless your program is not competitive, they don't even check the motivation letter, to be really honest. Again, I'm not saying that you don't have to focus on the motivation letter. Of course, you really have to focus, but it's just a thing that if your program is not that much competitive, they don't really care about the motivation letter. I have given you the reason, so just trust me that just write only one first preference motivation in your motivation letter and just go with it. So another question related to the motivation letter that is again frequently asked questions. I got this from multiple students. So I would like to ask if it's fine for me to write in the motivation space. Please check attached document for letter of motivation, and then I upload the letter as a document rather than typing in the space for letter of motivation. Most of the time it's either the character limit, or most of the time they would tell you just 1 page or 1.5 page of motivation letter. So there is a reason for that. When the examiner is checking your motivation letter, if it's too long, they don't even bother to read it. So that's why there is a character limit. What I would recommend you is to summarize everything in that character limit. Don't attach another document. They will not even bother to read it if it's too long. I was in recruitment, and trust me, nobody wants to read a motivation letter of 2 pages or more than 2 pages. I know some of the people told me that the character limit doesn't make sense. They cannot express themselves fully. Just trust me, write just in the character space within the limit. It will help you a lot. And the examiner is actually going to read your motivation letter. If it's too long, 2 pages, 2.5 pages, I don't think anybody's going to write the whole motivation letter. They would just write the first part, and then they would be like, yeah, okay, they would get the idea. So just make sure to summarize it, write it as straight to the point as you can, but still in a creative way. I think 1 page or the corrected limit that they have given, I think it's enough, to be really honest. But if you want, you can attach as a separate document, but also write something in the column as well. So, it doesn't happen that they don't even read your attached document. Probably some examiner would like to, go to the attached document and read it, but just summarize everything in that section. So moving on to the next question, what's the entire process after giving USAT and safe score for each province or city? So USAT is basically the exam that the sending partner in Pakistan takes to select the students. I'll explain this in my video, so if you could check that video, that would be nice. Shortly, what basically happens, so after sending partner nominates the student, they send the list to TPF. TPF send the list to the university. University take the interview from the student. Once the interview is good, they send the admission letter to the student. So once the admission letter is there will be a final decision from the TPF whether this person has got the scholarship or not. And again, this final decision depends upon, the seats available in the university, etc. There are different requirements, but most probably 90% of the cases, once university accepts you, you get the scholarship. That 10% exception is just for those programs which has high competition. Let's say medicine, in every, medical program, like I know like most of the students, they want to, pursue and wants to become doctor. So there is a lot of students that are applying for, medicine programs. So the competition is worth high there, but in other programs, I don't think so. That's like that quota system problem is a problem. So 90% of cases you would get the scholarship. Okay, another question. Bro, I want to know what is the main list and what is the reserved list and what are the chances of getting selected if you're in the reserve list. I was in reserve list, so I'm here, so there are chances. Basically depends upon your luck. It's not a thing that you don't have the chance. Everything happens the same. You would, do the interview with the university, you would go through all the same process. It just basically depends upon your luck if the nominated students, they leave the place. So yeah, you have the chance. I'm here. I've almost completed my degree. So yeah, there is a chance. Don't lose hope. Just do all the process and hope for the best. Okay, so the next question is, a sending partner and a college are different people. As I see on the website, a college is responsible for 7 countries. Okay, so sending partner, as I previously discussed, it changes from country to country. It depends upon country. In my country's higher education commission, basically the sending partner. For some of the countries, let's say for Iran, the Iranian embassy is basically responsible for it. And it could be in university as well. So it basically depends upon which, institution TPF has done their agreement with. So yeah, so this is basically the thing. You have to check the requirements on the TPF website. So if you want to see the link, you go to my previous video. I have discussed everything in detail and the links are in the description, so you can check it out from there. Okay, moving on to the next question. I have one doubt. Can you clear me? I have no English proficiency certificate. Am I eligible for some course? Thing is that if you have studied in English language in your high school and the whole, the language of instruction was English, then you just need English proficiency certificate, not the, how can I say, like any test or something for that. You just go to your high school and they make a certificate that this student has studied everything in English in our high school, and that would be it. That is your English proficiency certificate. But other than that, if you haven't studied in English in your high school, then you have to do IELTS, you have to do TOEFL, whatever, the English proficiency exam, then it's compulsory for you to do it. So because you have come this far, this question, I just kept it for the last. So people who have managed to come to the end of the video, I would share it with you. So the question is, should you go to Semmelweis, Debrecen, Szeged, or Pécs? What should be the 2 preferences? Okay, so this is really important. So this is one thing that I want to share with you guys, and I think it's better if you know about this. So most of the people, I can give you 1,000 of examples, they change their university to Budapest. So they transfer, if they are in Pécs, if they're in Debrecen, if they're in Szeged, or in any other small city, they usually, after studying there for a semester or 2 semesters, they transfer to Budapest. And the reason for that is student life is just not about the university itself or the ranking of the university itself. It's more about the activities or the environment that you live in. So most of these small cities, like comparatively small cities, of course, like Szeged and Debrecen and like Pécs, they're considered the big cities of Hungary. But as compared to Budapest, like they are small cities. And in those kind of cities, you don't have that much activities to do. You don't have that much jobs there. That's why most of the people, they like to work in Budapest or study in Budapest. It's because you have more job opportunities, you have better activities to do, you have the better transport here. You have all the cafes here, the study environment is really good, the libraries are really good. And overall, like you have more people in Budapest, more, people to go and, do stuff. So that's the one thing that you have to consider and keep in mind. Of course, the last decision for you is based upon what you want. If you want to live in a quieter place, if you want to live in greenery, let's suppose, you can choose, let's say, Debrecen or Szeged to be in the quiet place. You can choose Pécs if you like mountains and if you like to be in green. But as far as I've seen, like most of the people, they want to be around, more people. They want to have more activities. They want to have more job opportunities. That's why they come to Budapest. And I would also suggest you that your first preference, whatever universities you're choosing, it doesn't matter. It should be Budapest. And then the second preference, you can, go to another city. That's my experience. That's my suggestion. Of course, the last decision is up to you. And there can be exception. Let's say like if you got accepted in medicine in SEGET, then it's a big thing. Like if you have dreamt of becoming a doctor for your whole life, then of course this is the thing that you have got. And I think you should not care about the environment or the city that you're living in. But for some of the people, like for me, for example, I chose physiotherapy, and it was not a thing that I was dying of doing. I just liked the whole idea or the whole profession, and I just chose to do that. If I would have the option to go and live in SEGET or any other small city, I would refuse it 100 times, because I think for me, doing other activities is more important. So yeah, this is one kind of thing that I wanted to share with you guys. This is also important that, you know, before making a decision, you have to, you know, compare all of these things, not just where you are going or what you are going to study. Okay, so finally we reached the end of the video. I have a lot more questions, but I think it would be too long video to watch. So I think we can spare it for another video. Probably if you want to see another Q&A video, let me know in the comments. If you want to see, you know, tour of a university, it could be Semmelweis, it could be my day in life, whatever. So make sure to click that like button so it reaches at least 100 likes. And also let me know in the comments which university you want me to visit. And that's basically it for this video. Make sure you go and check out the Telegram channel. I'll be posting some updates, some, you know, interesting stuff or useful stuff for you. And hopefully if 100 people join the Telegram channel, I'll be hosting a live Q&A. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm excited, and I hope this video would be useful in some way. And yeah, share it with your friends and let them know about the scholarship as well. It's just like, I think 2-3 weeks are left in the deadline. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the video, and hopefully see you in the next video with some other topic. So yeah, see you. Peace out.